As always, my stream starts with me posting the link to my stream everywhere. This can take a while. Come on. When will it finally show up? Where is it? It is here, so why is it not shown on my thing? I'm currently asking myself why when I have the stream obviously here, why it's not on my stream, on my channel I mean. Usually it's shown here when I'm streaming something, but now that kinda isn't the case. So I have to find out how to share this shit. Okay. I guess I have to do it like this then. Okay. So now I can work with the link. Now, just wait. I'm using my laptop to do that. That's why you don't see what I'm doing. So now I have it open on my laptop already. And now I can drop the link in my Facebook group. Finally. I also dropped the link in my Telegram groups, Telegram, just in case anyone wants to show up and hang out with me for a while, of my friends. Okay, I think that's all I can do for checking if everyone is able to see it and stuff. Now I have to put my laptop somewhere where it doesn't stand in the way. Alright, I have two viewers. One of them is probably myself and one of them is probably a friend of mine or someone from the group, I don't know. A little disclaimer, I'm always talking English in my streams in case anyone comes around who doesn't speak German, which is likely when you have a Facebook group. Alright, let's start. Okay, the first thing I will do is make everything quieter because you already saw it was clipping when I first played it. Therefore, I select everything and make it quieter so that the average level is, I don't know, something around -12 maybe. Okay, I can work with that. By the way, if my microphone has a very different amplitude than the project, then just tell me about it and I will change that. Yeah. So now the second thing I do in this project is find out the speed. Okay, I guess this is supposed to be faster. Maybe something like this. Oh, I misunderstood something. The snare is this thing. So
horse of moon. She wants to build a wife for her grab 1,000.
Yeah, seems like I nailed the speed. Now the next thing I have to do to save a lot of CPU in this project is probably to make it shorter, all the empty spaces, and therefore I will increase the way the waves look to see where they are definitely not anymore. That way I don't make the mistake of deleting stuff that might be very quiet and just hasn't got a very obvious wave, but I will just very roughly reduce all these tracks to what I think they might more or less be about. And later on in the project, that will be a much more exciting time when I make these tracks even shorter so that they fit to the arrangement. For example, if there are any instruments that fade out while a new part starts, there might be creative decisions to make it a harder cut at that time to increase the impact of whatever there is. And that's a thing I do a lot on these recordings, and I'm already looking forward to it because that's already always fun. Yes. But for now, we just have to deal with this very exciting thing I do. Oh yeah, I love live streaming. I love that people can just come around and maybe have a chat in the chat section or talk with me, and we can just hang around in my projects. And I also love these kinds of things in real life, but nowadays my friends all live in different cities, so it makes sense to do this with live streams, sadly. Maybe we can just play the project while I'm cutting this stuff.
She wants a dress of diamonds. She wants a horse of moon. She wants a bill of potential to buy you stuff with exchange of my mind. She wants a chocolate for day. She wants a white could be your late. She wants a check of love to be happy. I am in love with. She's my boss. Alone at 4. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. She wants a girl to laugh. She wants a I'm your baby cat. She wants a slave for the proud. Kiss her feet until they are clean. She wants the biggest stars. She wants the highest of high heels. She wants to rule my world and be happy. I am in love with. She's my boss. Alone at 4. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife.
The cool thing about these colors is they come automatically when I add a track. There will always be automatically a different color on this track than on the track before, and that's why when I just pull random tracks in a new project, it will already be super cute. Yeah, as you can see, the drum room mic is missing again, like in the other project, so we have to put that in later, but I will work without it for now. Where were we? Here.
Leave for hurry up. Grab 1,000 chances, not for fun that I'm the one. Hope someday the news will say she asked me for a day to say forever I will be your paper. Only for her, hurry up. Grab 1,000 tons, it's not for fun that I'm the one. I hope someday the news will say she asked me for a date. I say forever paper, but I hope someday the news will say never found you, girl. I hope someday the news will say never found you, girl. I hope someday the news will say never found you, girl.
Alright, now we heard the whole track. I like it a lot. It sounds a little bit like ska, but also very rock, kind of not psychedelic, but progressive rock. And I know you're usually doing progressive rock, but I didn't know that you also like ska. The next thing that I do is I try to bring more order into this by creating two folders. That's a thing that I found very useful for your music, to separate things into percussive things and non-percussive things, because now I can put all the stuff that is not drums into the non-percussive things. And I could even use subfolders in the non-percussive things thing to separate between different parts. And that's very versatile in my opinion. But the thing that is even better about that is that I can just mute everything in this folder and only concentrate on the drums for now. This is what I'm going to do. But before I do that, I will rename the tracks so that I see faster what they are about when I look at them. Oh, there is some inconsistency if I don't write a 1 here. That's always very important if you are a wannabe artist. Okay. Whoa. There must have been a problem with the connection. I hope it's not too annoying. I'm trying to work on a sample rate of 48 kilohertz. Before I started the stream, I tried to use the 88 one, but that just didn't work. It was just too much for my computer. Now I backed off to 48. But that's, I hope that at least works. But it's not too bad. I will just use a lot of oversampling in all the plugins and stuff. Then it will be fine. So let's listen to the drums. let's sort the drums as well. On top of the drum folder there will be the drums that matter for the roominess of the drums. Just on the bottom will be the things that are very rare, and in the middle there will be the things that are closed mics and stuff. Maybe I should make folders for that. Yeah, that's the open mics. I guess these are called open mics, I hope. And the closed mics. And I think I will just take the other stuff together with the closed mics, because these are not part of the overheads anyway. Okay, now I can focus on one of these things. Maybe I should start with the overheads, because overheads are the most important things in a drum recording. I once read an interview where someone said that if he just has one mic for a drum, or no, I think it was 3 mics or something, and the question was, would that person rather put one mic to the kick and one to the snare and one to the hi-hat or something like that? But the person said they would rather just use a lot of overhead stuff, so everything sounds quite nice. That's I found that pretty relatable, even though I'm not very experienced at recording. Okay, let's go. As always, the Wurst mic seems tighter than the overheads, and that's why I will put them in the focus of attention for my drum mix. So the first thing we should do is just look at the Wurst and see what makes this Wurst thing so sweet and what could make it even sweeter. I think it sounds rather crunchy in the high end, so let's try to tame it there a little bit. I don't think that was quite a good idea. I mean, it did a little bit something, but not what I exactly wanted. So let's go on with something else. Maybe this saturation plugin will help, because when I use it, I often feel like it makes the high end become smoother, and that's exactly what I want to do here. And saturation always helps with stuff. this is some very hard harshness. I really don't know what I should do. Let's try something different. Let's try something very obvious. I often don't like the obvious ways, but let's just try it because it's too obvious. Okay, in this case, I think the obvious way was the best. Yeah, let's go and let's try to hear for something different. Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit worse um when I filter out the uh, low end, but I mean I also have closed mics and I don't want the low end to be that crowded by the roomy mics, so I think it's best to let it stay at something where it does not sound like it will just stay like this. Now let's try saturation again, just because I like it. But I will use a different saturation plugin for this. I really love this one, but for this particular material I feel like it's just not cutting. I love how how the saturation enhances the sustain of the snare on this recording. Oh, but I don't like the obvious distorting. Oh, that's better. Oh. On the low end I should take something that has a lot of impact. The warm tape algorithm always sounds a little soothing to me. On the snare we can use something that has a little bit more crunch. Sometimes I like broken tube, but broken tube is best on the high end. I will not use it on this. Now I want the drums to have more consistency a little bit. I will also increase the consistency later, and what I mean with consistency is that I want to reduce peaks, and that's why I will use a very easy kind of compression that just reduces everything very hard. Maybe I will back it off later, but my goal is to let the closed mics do the dynamic stuff and not so much the room mics. I love that using a little bit compression like this immediately makes the drum sound more distant, and that's exactly what I want when I plan on making the closed mics really upfront. Then the other stuff must become more distant, and that's the way I do that. Okay, enough of the Wurst. Let's look at what the overheads add to the sound. The overheads seem to be better at the high-end stuff. They also have a lot of high-end, but the high-end of the overheads just sounds a lot smoother. Probably due to the mic selection. The most obvious thing to try is obviously trying to hard pan this stuff. While we are at it, why don't we take the time to make this cut even tighter? Alright, now let's further shape them in a stereo group. I don't wanna process the individual overheads because it's just too much. We can do very cool stuff with a group of overheads. For example, using an equalizer. This time I wanna use the high end, so I won't cut it, but maybe I will not use so much of the other stuff. Yeah, I could use Kotelnikov here too to make it more distant, but I just thought maybe... No, I will do that. I thought maybe I should have combined these two and then throw another compressor on it, but that's such levels of complexity. I will go there later when the project is a little bit more far. Alright, now that we cared so much about these seconds, let's see if the other seconds also and the other sections also sound nice. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Wait up, I got a message. Okay, I read the message about the missing room mic in Telegram. So I'd rather encourage people, including the band, to use the chat in YouTube. So everyone feels a little bit more entertained, even though we go through the same loops over and over again. Let's go on with the closed mics. Oh fuck, that's loud. Let's first of all turn the closed mics down. Yeah, they really add flavor already, even though they are not even mixed yet. But of course, a little bit of mixing will make them come out even more. And the most obvious thing to do with closed mics is gating them. Or at least using an expander. I rather use an expander than a gate because I'm more flexible. Of course, the first thing you try is just making that a hard gate and see how far you come. But sometimes you just, because of the bleed, you don't come as far as you might want, and then you have to back it off a little bit here or so. And that's what we're going to do now. We always have to care about the quietest parts. And even in the parts where the drums are quite quiet, the kicks are at the same volume. Maybe this one is the quietest. And then we have to care about the loudest one, so the threshold is not too deep to also catch something different. Like in this case. That does not sound cool. And then we have to go back to the quietest thing and see if it still works. Yeah, it does. Otherwise I would have to use an automation. Now we have to make that sound like a kick again. Yeah, they were quite fine with that. That worked out pretty well. But Pro MB's expander is not meant to be a gate. The range only goes down to minus 30 decibel, and I had many examples where I still heard what was going on there. So I will put a gate behind a real gate, and this, since the expander already works pretty well, the gate does not have to do a lot anymore. It just has to kind of work a little bit. So now that we gated kick 1, we can just copy over the settings to kick 2 and see if it works automatically, and if it doesn't, we have to do some stuff. I will first of all only copy the multiband settings. I will do that for each closed mic, even though I know that different problems will occur with different of these closed mics. But I mean, maybe I can more or less benefit from my setting that I found. Oops. On this track we see that it's not so easy because the snare interferes a lot. But since the snare only starts somewhere here or so, we can at least use a very good expander on the low end, hopefully. Yeah, we can even be very generous about the threshold because there are not very many other things going on and competing in the low end. Maybe the toms. Now I will use a not so straight setting on the higher stuff, because when you can't find a perfect solution, you also can't set your compressors and expanders to heavy settings. We see even if we can't really get rid of the snare and stuff, it really cleans up a lot. Alright, let's go on with the hi-hat. The hi-hat is not being played on all parts, as we have seen in the beginning. For the hi-hat, let's just focus on the actual high end for now. I know when the effect is turned off, the hi-hat just sounds so full and as if it destroys everything. But we should keep in mind that the open mics already do this thing. So it's okay when the closed mics sound a little more subtle. And if it doesn't sound cool, I can back off the effect later. I won't use the gate on this one now because that seems to make the transitions between yes and no weird. Let's just keep it like that. Yeah, in this example, the snare in the quiet part is quieter than the snare in the louder parts. So we have to be careful about that. But it seems that it does not make a lot of a difference in the low end. But I'm pretty sure it will make a difference in the high end of the snare. So as we can see, we have to go really deep with the threshold in these quieter parts, but on the louder parts it just makes no sense at all. We could be here. And it becomes very audible that it's a problem when the hi-hat is with it. Then it just never goes down. So we have to use an automation to fix that. I don't like using automations on effects like this, you know, like non-creative effects but just technical effects. The project can be clustered so fast when you do this. But we wanna serve this song. We wanna do what the song needs. And the song needs an automation here. Okay, it's not perfect yet, but let me just go on for now. This was very informative about the structure of the song. So maybe we'll have an advantage later because we just took the time to just check out how the snare works in the whole song. Now here's the second snare, and let me just copy that setting. And hopefully we don't have to do so much on the second snare as well. But I will also not make it perfect. That actually seems to be easier to handle than the other track, because on this snare mic the hi-hat does not make a difference. Even this quieter things seem to be caught by the same threshold almost. Let's only help it a tiny little bit to be a little bit more like the thing we need. Let us make a little check. How does everything sound? Every closed mic that we changed by now, with and without the expander. As we can see, the expander really gets rid of the density, and the density should be created by the open mics. Now we really have two separated things. We have the density stuff, the open mics, and we have the tight stuff, the closed mics, and that's really nice. Here we have the tom mics. I always hate tom mics because they have so much bleed. I don't think this is all toms. Let's see. Oh, it is. Alright, okay, I take it back. Yeah, okay, but still let's start with the first tom first. You know, the problem about toms is you can't really give them a short release time because you want them to sound very long. But then you will also hear the bleed of the other tracks. But I think I will just live with that. That's very dangerous here. Don't touch it, don't touch it. Oh, okay. Oh, is this a tom as well? No, it isn't. Yes, nice. Yeah. Okay. Okay, okay, nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. It at one point it had also a hi-hat in it and stuff, but I mean that was a pretty clean result. I will just keep it like that for now. This looks much more complicated. No. No. Yes. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's just keep it like that for now as well. So now we have all the basic drums. That's nice. That kind of accentuates the... Egal. Holy shit, where's the cowbell even? I mean there is a cowbell somewhere, but I don't understand where it is. How the fuck? Where could it be? In which mic is it? Oh, the hi-hat. So this is not just a hi-hat mic, it's also a cowbell mic. Interesting. The question is, will the cowbell come back? I don't think so. No, it won't. Then we will just make that a new track. Now we can process the cowbell differently. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. Let's use single band. Let's use single band, but only triggered by the high end. Yes, then the toms have not a chance. Hey, wait up, there must be another cowbell. Oh damn, the cowbell is very prominent in the Wurst mic. So we can't really use this track a lot. Maybe we can't even use it at all. Okay, let's just mute this track, and we might use it if we run into problems with missing cowbells in the mix. I will deactivate these effects now so they don't take up my CPU. Now the claps. Oh, I have a cool idea about the claps. I guess everyone already knows what I mean, but if not, then that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's fine, but that's not what I meant. I just checked. What I meant was okay. This copy will only be used to see how long this part is, so I can replicate the length. Now I will how am I gonna do it? Maybe I will always take the ones that are the ones except for the highest, and then put the highest down. That way a new pattern will be generated every time it repeats. And it won't sound so as if it is a loop all the time, even though it is. Okay, I'm not sure how it sounds, but let's just try it now. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an odd number. That means we can actually use one that stays in the middle of the sound, and then we can put all the others somewhere else. Oh, wait up. I know what we can do with them. Oh my god, that's so cool. But first of all, let me bring them back to 0. Don't worry, I won't play the project now. I know it would be loud. I just need it for something, because I want to put them in a group that I will make quieter anyway. I don't need this track anymore. Okay, I will put the claps there. What I'm doing now is not something that just has to work, it's just something that I find very funny. And for this particular case, I will change to headphones. I'm currently using my speakers, but now I'm getting my headphones somewhere. So if you're watching this stream on speakers, change to headphones now. Alright, I'm on headphones now. Let's turn this down a lot and see if everything was right. Yes. So now we should be able to play it. Okay, everything has the same volume. Everything has the same position in the panning. And that's perfect, because now we can actually insert um, my favorite binaural panel, DAVR. I always love to use it so much. And we will only use it on one clap for now, to find a setting that we will use on every clap, but different. Oh yeah, super nice. At least on headphones. I don't know how it sounds in speakers right now, but I also don't care, because headphone mixes are nice. this is a great example for a material where this saturation plugin actually sounds really cool. Before it sounded a little thin, but then it kind of got some body to it. I don't know what this plugin does, but when something has too less body, then this is the choice. Alright, enough of these claps. That was really nice, but they take a lot of space, so they will get their own folder. I will go back to speakers now. I'm not sure if I wanna keep the special drums, these to the closed group, because if I were to use a compressor on this, it would kind of react to like the claps and the shaker and stuff, and yeah, when I think of it, that's stupid. I don't do that. Let's put them back out again. They might get their own group one day, but for now I just want to have these groups so I'm able to change the volume when I'm going to the other parts, and I just quickly want to change the volume of open G or closed G. Then I can do that without activating Q-Link and stuff. I don't like Q-Link much because it has some bugs where it also changes something about the master channel, and sometimes these bugs cause the master channel to lose their output, and then you don't hear anything anymore, and you have to connect everything to a new output, but you can't delete the old output, and it looks very ugly, and I don't like it. I just don't want it. I want to avoid this bug, and therefore I try to avoid Q-Link, because the bug does not make sense. It just comes randomly when you use Q-Link. So it's always a little bit tricky to use Q-Link, and you have to be very careful about it. Okay, at least in Cubase 9.5 that's the case. Maybe they fixed it in 10. So the first thing I will do is bass. So where is bass? Here it is. Everything else doesn't matter a lot. Let's make a folder. Maybe we'll delete it later. It's a folder for later, because this stuff is going to be processed later, and I don't want it to be in the way. I could also just hide them, but I don't like the hide feature. I don't know why, I just don't like it. Can't describe it. So first of all, let's only turn the bass on and see what happens. Okay, it's loud. Then let's turn it down. That's a very gnarly bass without a lot of low end. That's a very warm bass, but also not a lot of low end. And that's the bass with most of the low end, and also warm. So this is going to be my main bass. This is going to be my second bass. And this is going to be, if I even need it at all, my third bass. Of course it's nice that they also always give me a lot of reamps to choose from, but sometimes it's better to narrow it down to one single sound. Otherwise we might run into phasing issues. Cool. The cuts are done. So the first thing I try is, how far do I get with only the first bass sound? Let's go on. Yeah. We need more saturation, definitely. We wanna enhance the bassiness of the bass part, and that's why it's good that we have a multiband saturation plugin. We want the bass being compressed independently of the other frequencies. Wait up, I got a message. Okay. Alright. If I come to a point where the bass becomes too inaudible because of the other things that will come to the mix later, then I still have 2 reamp tracks left that might be used to compensate for that. Or I will just further process this one. But for now I think that this bass already sounds pretty cool and I don't need any more reamp tracks. Okay. How will I go on? I once read a comment in a pop music forum on Facebook where someone said it makes sense to go on with the vocals after making drums and bass. Drums and bass obviously is the fundamental of every or most genres in this world. But the question is always, do I add the other instrumental parts then? Because first finish the instrumental, then finish the vocals. Or do I go on with the vocals because I have some kind of priority system which says vocals are the next big priority and then the other stuff around. And for the last song I used the method with the priority stuff, and that worked pretty well, and that's why I will use it again now and see how far I get with it. This looks like ad-libs. I won't start with the ad-libs now. I will start with something where there's real singing, like here. That's obviously real singing.
She's my boss, alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife.
What's the name of this? Gesang, Refrain und Bridge. Okay. Chorus and bridge. Yes.
I am in love with her. She's my I am in love with her. She's my boss. Ask me for a day to say forever. I will be your patient.
Hard cut. Okay. Obviously, the first thing I do with vocals is melodyning them. Melodyne still asks me if I want to update to the newest update every time I open it. Maybe I will do it soon, but I don't think I need it now. My stream still works, does it? Yes, it does. Okay. I don't have ARA, so we have to let it transfer the vocals first. So sit back, make some coffee or whatever.
I am in love with her. She's my boss, alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss, alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. Leave for her. Hurry up. Grab 1,000 times. It's not for fun that I'm the one. Hope someday the news will say. She asked me for a day to say forever. I will be your patient.
I just realized that I probably won't be able to process a lot of these vocals since I am not very familiar with the harmonics of the song yet. But let's just see how good Melodyne detected the vocals, because I think we need to check this because the vocals sound very filtered, and sometimes Vocaloid does not like vocals to be that filtered.
I am in love with her. She's my boss.
To check how good Melodyne detected the tuning, I always select everything and make the hardest cuts ever. And if it still sounds more or less reasonable after that, then it worked nice.
I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She gives me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife.
That was actually pretty cool in my opinion. I mean, except from the odd notes that were induced by the heavy tuning without selecting a scale and everything. But I mean, that sounded pretty cool. Maybe I will go for a similar sound, but maybe I won't, because it's kind of sad that the singing was so good in the first place, but then I kind of crunch it completely and it also sounds really cool, and it makes me hard to decide. But for now I will just go back to the original sound, because this was just a test. Okay, we have the original sound back.
I am in love with her. She's my boss.
Yeah, let's try to find something harmonic so we can put it in the background while we process. It seems like in this part there is a guitar, another guitar, and a keyboard line. So we'll put these out of the later thing as well. And what's this? Another background singing stuff. But okay, I don't need the background singing stuff now. I just need a background of harmonics to edit these vocals. But of course, as long as tracks remain in the later folder, I know that I'm missing something, and that's why it's okay to have this later folder. Yeah, first of all let's do what we always do, cut it even shorter. Cool. That's obviously a hard cut at this place. Oh, wait a minute. Here the same. Okay, also the same. And I feel like when I look at this, that these instruments probably play something very similar and also deserve a hard cut. Pretty sure about that, yes. Okay. Now that we have some stuff, we just need to bring that stuff to the right levels so it won't destroy our ears.
I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She gives me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life.
Okay, that's not easy. It's a complicated chord progression. Let's see how well I do, but I mean, I can always turn it back. Let's turn down the drums for now. We don't need the drums when we are processing and when we are adjusting our perception towards the harmonic content.
I am in love. 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 I am in love.
Okay, the first thing I do now is just tell these notes they should go to the next best note. That's something that I almost always put on 100%. That does not sound unnatural. As you can see, it still has all the slides and stuff. It just makes it easier to shift it around and to see where the notes are and stuff.
I am in love. 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 I am in.
Sometimes it's really hard to tell what's better, the B or the A. The Melodyne let it jump to the B when I used this thing, but I think it sounds better on the A, and this is just one of these notes that are meant to be very near to sound stylish. But the only way I can find out is by using a synthesizer and comparing the synthesizer's note with the background harmonics. Holy shit, what's all that? Okay. Let's make a very non-aggressive tone with this. Set Z is this is
I am in. I am in. I am in.
I make it more audible.
I am in. I am in. I am in.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
I am in. I am in love with, love with, love with, love.
At some notes you immediately hear that it's the right note. For example, this one, it just feels so right that I already know that it just must be right.
Love with, love with, love with.
It's just perfect. But these notes, they are just only very short. They can be tricky. Sometimes they are not what they seem like. Imagine this note weren't this note, it would be this right here, and that visualizes how weird this note is in this context. But I will care about the vibrato and the transitions a little bit later. First of all, I just want the right notes to be everywhere, and then I will go over everything again.
She's my love, she's my love, she's my love with her, 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 she's my love with her. my love with her. She's 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 my love.
Oops. Where's my virtual keyboard here?
She's my love with her. 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 She's my buzz, love with her. She's my buzz, buzz, buzz. Alone, alone if buzz, alone if.
In this case, Melodyne hasn't detected that here's a different note. That's also something to look out for.
Alone if buzz, alone if buzz, alone. Alone if buzz, 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 alone if kind of lost, 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 kind of lost. I give her 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 her a kind of lost. I give 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 her Aries a kind of lost. I give her Aries, 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 second of my, lecking 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 of my, lecking. Alone for every second of my, lecking of my, lecking of my, lecking of my, lecking of my, lecking. Every second of my, lecking of my, lecking of my. Every second of my, lecking 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 of my life, lecking of my life. She give me rape, 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 she give me 50 bucks a rape, she give me 50 bucks a 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 50.
In this case, it's obvious that this is not part of the chord, but this is some kind of staircase thing where it's okay when individual syllables are not really on it, and I think one of this is also like that, but let's check.
Every second of my life, 50 bucks a 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 50 bucks a.
Even though it might be cooler if it was actually right here.
50 bucks a 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 wait but I 50 bucks a week, but I 50 bucks a week, but I 50 bucks a week, but I want her as my.
And these are also cool because they kind of slide into the right tone, and obviously that's pretty cool.
Want her as my, want her as my. Want her as my.
What?
Wonder is my
To be honest, sometimes when I'm mixing these songs and I come across a loop like this, I think let's just throw everything in the bin and repeat this for 3 minutes, and it will be so cool. Imagine a 4 to the floor beat. I hope my commentary doesn't come with a lot of latency, otherwise this must have sounded pretty stupid. But if it doesn't, then you might know what I mean. But that's not meant in a bad way, because I often feel like that on my own music as well. Yeah. So we have tuned this whole part. Let's check if it's cool or if I made a mistake.
I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife.
Nice. Yeah, we're not done with this part yet, but some of the things we can do right now, like amplitude changing. We could for each note change the amplitude, and I will do that later. That's pretty cool, because then the compressor doesn't have to hit hard later when the vocal already has for each syllable the perfect amplitude. But to know which amplitude should be used, I need a little bit of the rest of the beat being mixed first. I can't just do that without any context. That would be kind of weird in my opinion. So let's just go on with the next vocals.
I am in love.
This should be very similar.
I am in, 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 I am in.
Do I still have my virtual keyboard here? Yes, I have.
I am in, 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 I $50 bucks, 50 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 bucks a week, but I 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 want her as my wife, leave for 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 her. Hurry up.
Yeah, okay. I can't tell if anything what comes here is cool, because that's the part that needs other harmonic content stuffs. Yeah, or maybe not to make this project not too complicated. I should go on with the vocals and drag new parts here. But first of all, let me rename this to no. I will wait with the renaming until I have more knowledge about the actual arrangement, or it will get confusing. I will just drag them up here.
Want her as my wife, leave for her. Want her as my wife, leave for her.
Okay, cool. It seems we have some nice cellos and stuff.
Want her as my wife, leave for her. Wife, leave for her.
Hello? Why can't I grab it? The fuck is this? No.
Wife, leave for her. Say she asks me for a day to say forever I will be your paper boy. Want her as
Oh, there's already some kind of hard cut. Nice. Now we just have to turn it down, and I will use the dangerous Kulik function.
forever I will be forever I hurry up. Grab 1,000 chances, not for fun that I'm the one of someday the news will say.
Okay, with these tracks it will be easy.
Hurry up. Hurry up.
The fuck? Oh yeah.
Grab 1,000 chances enough. Grab 1,000, 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 grab 1,000. Bounce is enough, 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 bounce is enough. One that I'm the 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 one of some fun 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 that I'm the one of some day the news was sick that I'm the day the news was sick 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 she asked me for it she asked me for it 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 asked me.
Aha, okay.
Ask me for it, 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 ain't no safer, 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 forever I will be your paper. Ask me for it, ain't no safe forever I will be your paper boy.
Okay. I don't really wanna decide about these. Or maybe.
Forever I, forever I will be your paper.
It's hard to tell because there are many chords in this track that have a dB and many that have a C.
Forever I will be your paper boy.
I think I will just have to let it stay the way it is for now.
I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. Leave for her.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Now I have more or less the right tuning for this vocal track, and I can finally mute these tracks again and bring them back into their being used later folder and concentrate on the vocal sound. I said earlier that I'm going to use Melodyne's amplitude modulation thing to modulate all the notes individually, but before I do that, I will just try to mix the vocals as far as possible without the amplitude modulation, just to see how far I come. And then when I'm motivated by the really great sound that I'm dealing with, then I will turn these effects off again and make it real, make it the way it must be. I think I should keep this synth because there are more vocal tracks to come.
I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I'm in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m.
Oh, I have to let my cat in. Cat my let in. Komm rein, kleine Katze. Und bitte nicht meckern, wir sind nicht mehr lange wach, ich weiß. The peculiar thing about this vocal track is it seems so filtered. It seems like it is the opposite of a proximity effect. Let me bring back the proximity into this vocal.
Love with her, she's my dog. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She gives me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She gives me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife.
Keine Katze.
Of my life, she give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. A kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her. She's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of lost. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me 50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. On at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. Give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her. want her as my wife. Want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife.
Fuck yeah.
I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. Leave for her, hurry up. Week, but I want her as my wife. Leave for her, hurry up. Grab 1,000 chances, not for fun that I'm the one. Hope someday the news will say.
Okay, this part obviously needs a different kind of reverb. In this part it was pretty cool that all the reverbs and delays were pretty close to the vocal and therefore created a small room perception which just drops off with a nice break here.
Wait, but I want her as my wife.
That worked pretty well, but in this case with the long notes and stuff,
Hurry.
I'm pretty sure it would be better to use a large reverb. But I don't want to do that right now, because I'm already a little bit tired. Actually, this stream is going to end very soon, because I have to do some stuff tomorrow. But let's still listen to everything one last time.
I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. I am in love with her, she's my boss. Alone at 4 a.m. I feel a kind of loss. I give her every second of my life. She give me $50 a week, but I want her as my wife. Leave for her, hurry up. Grab 1,000 chances, not for fun that I'm the one. Hope someday the news will say. She asked me for a day to say forever I will be your paper boy.
Yeah. I will probably use the other bass lines too. I just noticed that they really add some kind of special flavor to it. But I wanna like like the same when you change the tires of your car and these things um you take them off, but not like in the direction of the clock, but always you go always to the other side of the thing, and then you repeat that until it's done, and you uh, that's the analogy. I can't explain it in another way. um yeah, okay, good night everyone.